Well, let me get this straight here. I've been digging in a really shallow area that I know pretty well, just to see what comes off the bottom. Haven't found anything. There's an amber med and a cone mucilage. I've been finding other stuff here too, like the typicals, you know. Leon Perns. They're old, but they're not my favorite thing. The machine-made English water. I'm going to go a little further here, and I'll move on to another spot. None of this has really been dug from about 2 foot down, so a lot of people, once they see the ashes, they're not too impressed, so they don't go any further. But in the ashes, there's a few things, so I'll go a little bit more. See you later. Well, I came up with something so far. What is this? I don't know. Let me wipe it off on my leg. This is a Havana bottle. It's an ale bottle, ginger ale. It looks like Groland Ginger Ale, Savannah, Georgia, Savannah Brewing. Okay, we got a Savannah Brewing in here. That's a cool bottle. Let's keep going. We might find something more here. The dreaded bromo. We got one of those. Been scraping along this wall here. We're at the very bottom of the dump. Now this dump I know for a fact that it has been hammered for years. And if there's anything in here, it's going to be what's at the very bottom, and that's where I'm at right now. And that ginger ale, I don't know what else would be in here, but I'm going to get all this bottom here and see what shows up. Nothing. That will be it for now. It wasn't much of a dig, but I wasn't really in the mood to go out breaking my back, so I came to a place that's pretty easy. So there you go. Just talk to you later. Well, here's something else. Let's see what this is. I think I know what it is. And it is another. That's what it is. It's a Mozart Woods Bitters. There are a lot of them in here. You'll find them from time to time. What else is in here? We're at the very bottom of the dump there, folks, so whatever you find here is going to be either really old or totally messed up. There's something here. See that? There's something. There's been something here and something. That looks broken. It is. Oh well. I'm going to clear up a little bit more and see what I can find. So, Moss Atwoods. Keep going. We got a couple of bottles showing here, so I'm going to dig them out. Again, what are they? We don't know. Here's this one. It's one of those little whiskey bottle type bottles. Let's see what this is. This is a little bigger, I think. It could be a beer. Could be a soda. I don't know. And I got, looks like there's another one down there too. So, yeah, We got a little, what's this? Oh, it's broken, but it was a blood wine. I could just tell by the shape of it. A blood wine. What's this one here? This also looks like a boasted soda, it looks like. What was this? Nothing. And I thought I hit another one over here, but it might have been wrong. They pop up once in a while. That was a bottom. Too bad. That was a blood wine for sure. That was a blood wine for sure. Oh well. I don't know. We'll go a little further. We don't know what's going on in here. I really don't. But there you go. Well, here's one of those mystery bottles. It's one of those tall amber, and they only have an initial on them. And this one is SAW. So I've never found out what the SAW is, but they're cool. Actually they're tooled amber bottles, so that's cool. I found that right in there, this area here. And there's stuff in here. I see another bottle way off in the distance, and I'll scrape it out. It looks like a small one, so let's see what is in. And I feel another one underneath there. Let's get this one out. Oh, gosh, I'm telling you. It's one of these mineral waters. So anyway, there you got it. There might be some more in here. I don't know. It's hard digging, you know. I'm at the very bottom. But anyway, that's it for now. If you don't see me, I'll be at a roundup. Other than that, bye. Well, this came out. I know what this is. It's a Phillips 66, I think. Probably, yeah. It's common flask around here, and I find a lot of them in this particular dump. A lot of whiskeys in here, right before Prohibition. So the Phillips 66. I'm still scraping. This is an undug area, so you don't know what you're going to come up with. I don't know. Oh, brown. There's bricks. Bricks are common here. But some of them might come up here while we're scraping. I'm sorry about my camera work. When I come here, it's like I'm working my ass off. Because it's so hard. You see, the dirt is really packed. But this area here might have something in it. I don't know. I just found a few things in here. Let me dig. If something doesn't show up, this is the last installment, folks, for the day. Just when I thought I had everything done, this rolls out, and as you can see, I've got a blue cone ink, and it looks like it's in good shape. So there we have the bottle of the day for me. Blue cones are not easy to come by. And what kind is this? Is probably a Carter's. Okay, good show. Cone ink. Here we are again, and give you a little update and a review of some of the stuff I dug the other day. I had a dump that I used to go to quite often. It's 1900 to about I'd say 1910 maybe. Might go back a little further, but it was pretty popular, and there's a lot of stuff in it, although it's been hit pretty hard. A lot of the stuff I find there is always the same stuff, so I don't go there very much, and not anymore. But let's go see and check out the stuff that I did find the other day, and some of it was pretty good. The first one, let's go to some information, a bottle with some information behind it, because of course a lot of bottles don't have much. This is an interesting bottle. This is Bovar's Boku Gin. Now, it's Dr. Bovar's in the fifths, but I've never seen one on the flask. This bottle in particular was probably produced, I'd say, roughly about from 1880s to about 1906. Actually, by 1905, this company was going out of having a lot of problems. Dr. Bovar, not a real person. As a matter of fact, he was a fictional doctor, making him actually a quack, and he was a invention of a whiskey rectifiers by the name of the Rosenbaum brothers. They had a rectifying company, which meant they took whiskey from anywhere, mixed it all together, made it taste a little different from one another, and they put a label on it and sold it as a brand, but actually it was always the same stuff. So it really wasn't high grade whiskey at all. This was just resold, and that's what they did. They bought a lot of whiskey from different Kentucky distillers. They had one that they bought from, and they also invested in it. But the government caught up to them because they were selling this as a medicine. Now, Buku is Buku is a herb from South America, and they would mix it up with their whiskey and then sell it as a medicine. But by 1908, the government caught up to them and said, this is pretty much gin. So they had to change their act, and this bottle from 1908 on didn't exist. They didn't have Dr. Boker's name on there, although it's still here, so I have a funny feeling it's about a 1908 or a 1909 bottle. But yeah, this was an interesting thing. It was sold as a medicine, but it really wasn't. Let's go to one that everybody knows. We dig these all the time. Why? Because there's so many of them all over the place. But people might not realize the background to this bottle. Now, there was a Mose Atwood. There was a guy by the name of Mose Atwood, and he did develop a Jaundice bitters. Thing is, in the little town of Georgetown, Mass, he produced a lot of different medicines, and he would job them out. He would sell them, you know, the recipe to this guy, to that guy, and then they'd produce it. He did this with the Jauntis bitters too. He moved out to Iowa eventually, and another man by the name of Carteret or something of that nature, he took over and started producing this this medicine. Now the bottle hasn't changed since the 1840s when Mose Atwood started his company. So this company goes back. It's old. It went from the 1840s to 1950. So there's a lot of this bottle around. I find it all over the place. But what's funny, at one point, 3 companies were producing this bottle or this stuff. Manhattan Pharmaceuticals were the main guys, and this bottle was probably produced by them, because it says, when you see formally, what that's actually telling you is they couldn't use Moses Atwood's name because he wasn't producing the stuff anymore. So they had to drop to Moses, and by 1880s is when this bottle probably came into being. When you see the formally, you can't really see it here because this bottle's been in the ground for 110 years, so it's pretty toasted. But I've been to this town. I did a report on this guy. The town has about 20 houses in it, and his house is a little 2-story farmhouse, and there's a plaque on it saying this is where the stuff was made, and he probably did it in his kitchen. So, pretty prolific bottle. Everybody's dug these up. If you're digging, you find these from time to time. I dig them all the time. They're as common as bromos as far as I'm concerned, and you know, they're still a cool bottle, though. This one's in pretty bad shape. But yeah, that's the history of this company. And at one time, 3 dudes were producing, well, corporations were producing it. 2 of them were in the Georgetown area, down the road from each other, producing the same stuff. I don't know how they got away with it, but they did for a while. So that is Mose Atwood bitters. Now, let's see. Now let's go to another well-known bottle. Horlocks malted milk. Now, if you can see this one, still this is in bad shape too. Racing, Wisconsin, and London, England. This was produced by 2 brothers, James and William Horlock, and they're originally from England, but they moved out to Chicago, and they developed the malted milk process here. Now, what happened with these guys is they started it in 1874, and they were in Chicago, like I said, but James decided he was going to go back to England and start a branch there. So in the 1880s, he went out there and he went to England, Staffordshire, I think, or something like that. And he started Horlock's malted milk there. And around the same time, I think it was around, 1875, then William moved everything to Racing, Wisconsin. From these bottles this bottle started in 1875, and you could see that London is on there, so this is probably around 1880, I'd say. 1880, but this is a machine-made bottle, I believe. I'm looking at it or it's a semi-automatic machine made. Yeah. So I'm talking about maybe 1906 here. This is when this bottle was made. But yeah, there's still, you can still buy it over there in Europe. It's still around. The company went out of business in 1915, I believe. Or am I right or am I wrong? I'm not sure. Um, no, it was around. As a matter of fact, um, it was around all the way up until the 1930s in this country, and then in England it's still around. So I didn't want to give too much misinformation on it. But Horlocks, big company, really, really going to town. Uh, Now this bottle here, I had no information on it. It's tooled lip SAW. I find them quite a bit in this time period. Uh, I don't know what went in here. I'd say some kind of concoction, another medicine type. Might be, it don't look like it's a soda to me. They wouldn't have put it in here in this kind of thing. So it's not a soda, it's not a whiskey. It's got to be some kind of, you know, fix you up, drink a bottle and you'll feel fine. You may not be awake by the end of the finishing that bottle, but when you wake up, I'm sure you'll feel fine. Now, after Horlocks, let's see, let me look at something that would be, here's a good, now, let's go to this bottle right away. Mallard's Distillery. This is Baltimore. I found no information on this. I've looked, it's a common bottle, Baltimore, New York, but I couldn't really get any solid information on this bottle. But it's of course a 1900, 1910 maybe. The dump runs in that time period, so that's what I'm guessing. This one, Lewis 66. Well, this company started way back in 1875, and unfortunately, it went out in 1915. And this guy, Pritz is his name, Pritz. Him and his cousin, brother-in-law actually, Strauss, they started this in Cincinnati. They started this company. And they were also rectifiers. They took whiskey from other places and slapped a label on it, and this became their big seller in the back, probably around 1885, something like that. And they stuck with it until about 1916 or 17, they went out of business. So, popular bottle, I find that quite often. This one here, this is a celery compound. A lot of people call it the bromo. It's a bromo ripoff, but it's not. It's not it's nothing really like bromo seltzer at all. This is a celery caffeine, and it was quite popular, and it started around 1901 by a guy called Thomas Wilbur Sell, and he was a chemist or a pharmacist, and he stayed in business for quite a while. Probably until the late 1900s, 1918, 1920. I don't see these bottles after that, so I don't know if they just kept producing it without the embossing or not. But it's hard to see, but you can see that his name is on the top, And people will mistake this for a bromo. It looks just like one, and it might even be made by Baltimore Glass, because of course it's Richmond, Virginia, not too far away. And last but not least, Little Carter's Koning. I find these once in a while. These are rare. They are not common. The green are even rarer. I have a dark green one too. They're usually just an aqua blue or clear, but this one has, I think, has a date on it. Carter's 1897, if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that, but that's that. So that's that. So that's what I found in my dig that I didn't really think. Oh, last but not least, I almost forgot the one that I really like the best is the Golden Spray Ginger Ale by Savannah Brewing here in Savannah. Now this is Savannah Brewing put out beer back in the day. Savannah Brewing started in 1884 and they ended in 1915. So 25-year run or something like that. Not that long, 20-year run. And they put out a lot of products. They saw the writing on the wall when it came to beer, and so they shifted toward the end to soda. And they put out ginger beer, ginger ale, other things of that nature, and but they really couldn't compete. By that time, by the 1915, 16, you had Coca-Cola come in, Pepsi came in to Savannah, you had Chericola, you had Peter's Beverages, Knee High later on. So this hometown brewery couldn't handle it. Now they had one ice company too, which was later on, but they produced soda maybe. I haven't dug one of those, but this one was fun to find, and it's rare. It's not really common, and it's tooled lip, clear, so it's not as interesting as some of them, but I'm always glad to find a local bottle here or there. So there you have it. My sojourn out in the 1900s time period. I'm usually in the 20s and 30s, so you know, it's fun to find these things too. I have hundreds of them, but it never gets old. I've been doing it for 51 years, and I'm telling you, I get excited every time I want to go digging. You know, I have a hard time sleeping the night before, just because you never know what you're going to find in the ground. At any rate, this will probably be my last for the season down here. The weather's turning to be pretty warm, and I don't dig in warm weather, so I might go up to New Jersey later on in a couple of months to do some business, and I might dig up there. Ticks are a big deterrent for me up there, though, so I don't like digging up there so much in the summertime. At any rate, have fun, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your summer. I will post some videos on bottles, different types of bottles, what was in them, even maybe some more history of dumps. Never know. Have a great day, everybody. Subscribe to my channel, and if you got any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always there. Have a good one. Bye.